Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale Hot Toys convention exclusive figure unboxing and review. Today, we're taking a look at their first Artisan release. Not the first Artisan figure to be announced, mind you, but the first to be released. This is Hot Toys' own take on a Jokerized version of the Dark Knight Batsuit, and they're calling it the Joker Batman Imposter version. Now, I got mine at a discount from Pop Collectibles. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. I've popped a link to their site in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new Hot Toys convention exclusive figure review goes live on the channel. When this figure was announced, it was met with a lot of hate online and a little bit of controversy as well. Some people claimed that this was not their original design, they copied it from a cosplayer. I definitely see the similarities with that cosplay versus this piece, so it's highly possible. I don't know if that's indeed what happened, but let me know what you think of the whole situation down in the comments below. As for the box art, it's got this really nice, almost Saffiano leather texture on the surface. You'll know what I mean when you feel this box in hand. We've got some high gloss sections for the red parts, the Dark Knight logos. We have two of them for some reason, the smile down below and the ha ha ha's everywhere. A Hot Toys exclusive foil sticker, as well as this very striking purple and green paint splatter effect over the top. On the side of the box, the texture wraps all the way around. We've got his name and a bunch more ha-ha-ha's. And then around the back, warnings, legal information, and Hot Toy store locations. Something on the front of the box I actually find pretty funny. Down below here with the other little logos, it says, "Stunning hair craftsmanship." Usually that's up to buyers to decide whether or not you've been successful with what you're trying to achieve in 1/6 scale, but it seems not for Hot Toys. They're telling you that the hair is stunning. It'd be like me putting in the title of this video, "Stunning Video Review." I don't think that would go over well. Absolutely hilarious that they decided to do that. On the inside box, underneath the slipcover around the front, we've got an image of the figure himself, "Why so serious?" and a bunch more ha-ha-ha's. Ooh, this I like. It's been designed to look like a Joker playing card, I think. We've got his name at the top and bottom. Oh, the read-up. I didn't even see the read-up, but feel free to pause to read this. I suggest you do, because it might give you a much-needed dose of comedy in your day. It's just as hilarious to me as stunning hair craftsmanship. They really are blowing their own trumpet with this one. On the other side of the box, we've got "Let's put a smile on that face," as well as "I had a vision of a world without Batman." I'm sorry, if I'm being overly harsh on the box art, you can just ignore me. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The unboxing experience does feel special for this piece, but all we're here to see is the head sculpt and the body. We've got an open window underneath this top cover that flips open like a book. Then we've got the head sculpt nicely protected inside this clear acrylic casing. Would you look at that? The entire left side of the box is just dedicated to keeping the head sculpt safe. First in-hand impressions for it, given it's inside a plastic container right now. So far so good, although the hair is going to need some styling. They've done something pretty unique with the clam tray on the side that contains the body. They've flocked it, and that makes it feel super premium. First in-hand impressions for the Jokerized Batsuit. Yeah, this thing is going to pop on a shelf for better or worse. What we're going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the lightbox and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first. This is a very old mold at this point. We've seen it with the DX12 and the DX19 and now this guy. But I'm pretty sure the bat symbol was added with DX19. That wasn't there on the DX12, right? Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. They've added a black wash around the back and then the front of the base, the diorama portion. We've got some red that could either be paint or blood, depending on how you see it, but some non-functional lights that still can move around for some unknown reason. They've covered up the battery compartment, so no, you can't pop some batteries in there and use the LEDs. They're just not present. The nameplate says the Joker on it in green and purple. That's going to nicely match his outfit. Then we've got an adjustable crotch grabber up top. It's a wider scoop than normal just because this is not the crotch grabber that's meant to come with this base. Getting it into the bottom part of the base itself was a right pain in the ass, so spend some time with it. Don't rush it. It'll go in eventually. In typical Joker fashion, he comes with a deck of Jokers only for his playing cards. They are printed front and back, and we have unique prints on each of the cards. I'm not going to open this up on camera. When you get yours in hand, you can rifle through the deck and pick out your favorite. While I would have appreciated metal batarangs, the plastic ones are still quite prickly, so do be careful when you're handling these. For two of them, they're just painted in this shiny metallic bronze with some purple splattering over the top. But for this one, we get some red as well. And those splattering patterns are unique for each batarang. They haven't just cheaped out and used the same pattern for all three of them. His Glock is made of plastic. The top slide has a very chunky metal flake to it, and that just doesn't come across as realistic to me. It's spring-loaded as well, so you can't have the top slide sit back to make it look like the magazine has been spent and he's reloading. Speaking of reloading, you can remove the magazine, and there's some painted bullet detail up on top. The submachine gun, another Joker mainstay. You can flip the stock back, remove the magazine on this, and the bullet is actually sculpted to sit proud of the rest of the magazine itself, so it looks like there's a little bullet sitting inside the mag. You can slide this lever back. The charging handle, I think is what it's called. It's spring-loaded as well. We've got an oil stain wash over the top, as well as some silver dry brushing. This, too, is made of plastic. I really like the way this has been painted with this almost smeared or rubbed off bluing effect right around the base of the handle where Joker would be holding onto this. There's no wood grain effect on this part or the handle itself, but I'm okay with that because the rest of it looks great. You can also actuate the front part forward and back. I've been trying to avoid this, handling the grenades on camera, because they all get tangled up in the strings and I have to spend ages trying to undo the little tangled mess of grenades. We've got some purple strings up top, a real metal ring, then the grenades are made of plastic, but there's some silver dry brushing on them, a black wash, and we get some different grenades thrown in there as well, with one round one and this one that looks significantly different to all of the other grenades. And then lastly, a full array of hands cast in purple plastic with some speckling of green over the top. They're made of this rubbery plastic, so stretching out the hands to wedge the guns in them shouldn't be a massive challenge. First cab off the rank, some open palm / trigger finger hands. A splayed out finger hand for the left and a Joker card holding hand for the right. You might need to heat up the finger and get it to sit closer to the thumb so that there's less of a gap, and that way the card won't fall right through that grip. Then two closed fists already installed on him right out of the box. What we're going to do now is get Joker himself out here, standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. If you're sitting here thinking, what the hell is this? This is so strange. Why did they do this? It makes no sense to me. You're not alone, because I'm kinda torn on this figure. There are certain things I really like, how bombastic it is, how wacky and goofy and out there the suit comes across. The head sculpt, you can tell, is quite strong even from a distance. But then, on the flip side, the things I don't like, the same stuff. It's so loud that it's going to stand out for all of the right reasons and all of the wrong ones. When you walk into your room, your eye will go straight for it. If you're okay with that, and visually speaking you dig the aesthetic, maybe this is something worth picking up. If you hate it, well, I don't think your mind's going to change. I don't think it's going to grow on you. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Joker's head sculpt. Let's be real. This is the reason why most people are going to pick up this figure. I highly doubt you're adoring the way this outfit looks, but if you do, that's also fantastic. This head sculpt is beautiful. Like, from every angle, the detail is so sharp. The skin texture poking through the smeared makeup, and the black eye makeup just going up over the top of the eyebrow, and the glossiness to the teeth on the inside of the mouth, with a subtle translucency to them. I love all of it. Is this sculpt better than the in-art one? Well, we will be doing some comparisons, so don't worry, we are sure as shit going to find out. Now we can discuss the hair. So out of the box, I did have to do a little bit of styling with it, but nothing crazy. I just sprayed it with a very fine mist of water, and I worked it with my hands. That's it. Now it looks like this, and I'm happy with it. You can see the individual strands because this is real wool hair that's been pre-styled to show off the little curls. The hairline looks very good. And he also has the almost widow's peak. Is that what you call it? Widow's peak of sorts, where it sits up higher on the left side. It doesn't go quite as far back as it's supposed to, depending on the scene, granted, but it's close enough for me, and it looks about right. The hair color has a touch of blonde going through it and a lot of green. It's not vibrant like the in-art green, it's more subdued, and I'm going to use the word accurate one more time. This looks closer to me to what Heath's hair looked like on screen. I think it's more accurate. Just look at the fineness of the curls and the ringlets and the color of the hair and the layering and the strands. It's all perfect. I have very little to complain about with this head sculpt. I'm now looking forward to more Artisan figures. I was worried at first that they wouldn't be able to do what InArt did and style the wool hair correctly and not make it look big and boofy, but they've done it. They proved me wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong in this instance. The only complaint I have with this entire sculpt is it's very difficult to access the moving eyeballs. There's a little gap in the sculpt just at the bottom of this removable panel. You're meant to use a tool to wedge under there and remove it, but if you're careful, you can also use your fingernail. Really difficult to do. You can just leave the panel off when you have removed it because you can't necessarily tell that that's not there when you look at this head sculpt front on. Once you do take it off, then you can access the individual moving eyes. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but there are the traditional Hot Toys little ball joint eye mechanism dongles on the inside of this head sculpt. I'm interested to find out if maybe giving him a bit of side eye will help this head sculpt look even better than it already does. And that it has. Angles are this sculpt's best friend, with a head tilt forward and the eyes looking up at us. Somehow, I just can't stop filming this sculpt. I don't want to stop the clip because it's perfect in my mind. Yes, I've seen customs and repaints of the InArt sculpt that look truly gorgeous, but this also looks gorgeous. Am I going crazy? Is it recency bias because this is our first Artisan figure and I've just received him? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you like this head sculpt, or is it not cutting the mustard for you? I promise we'll move on from the sculpt, but just look at the likeness coming through from this angle. Something about this side of the sculpt screams Heath Ledger to me. The eyes off to the side meeting his furrowed brow look, sells the expression, and now I think I've found my eye position for the collection long term. I'm going to have him displayed just like this. Oh, no, I don't think so, but if you want to have him looking crazy, well, this is the eye position that will sell that look. The mouth being open and the eyes looking down at us. I can't take this thing seriously. I need to move the eyes back to the stock position because this just doesn't work for me. So much better. This truly is a masterpiece. The head sculpt, we'll get to the body. It's one of the best head sculpts I've ever seen mass produced from any company, but mostly Hot Toys, and that's saying something because they've put out some banger head sculpts. This is blowing me away. Anyway, let's move on to the cape. It's made of this single ply lightweight fabric, and it's really good for once. There's some dirt and grime on the surface, this speckling of paint, and almost this staining effect to it. There's holes through it that comes into play with the grenades, which we'll get to, tatters down the bottom, and it's cut unevenly, so it looks crazy, like it's all janky, which is perfect for the Joker. Just make sure you're folding the outer edge of the cape in underneath itself, because if you've got the raw exposed edge on the outside, then the pleats going over his traps don't quite sit properly when you look at him front on. There's this added almost satin ribbon piece on the inside, and the reason that's there is to keep this V shape around the back in place so that it doesn't get distorted and look strange. The outfit. This is the DX19 body. It's literally just the DX19 that's been Jokerized. But tell me something. If Joker has been spray painting this outfit, which clearly he has been doing with purple and green and red, why is there no paint on the fabric sections of the outfit? You can't tell me that Joker perfectly masked all of the fabric sections, then spray painted everything, removed the masking afterwards and said, "Oh yes, baby, I've made sure the black parts of the fabric are completely clean." I highly doubt it. Does it still look cool? Maybe the speckling reflects light differently to how the DX19 suit does. That was more of a matte finish. This is slightly shiny, and you can feel the texture on the surface of the suit. I'm still not sold on the look of this piece. But the belt? This is an upgrade versus DX19. They've used a really shiny metallic gold for it, and it pops against the purple and red for the outfit. It too has purple and red and green on it. Still, you know what I'm trying to say. That metallic finish just gleams under the correct lighting. His legs are Jokerized with ha-ha-has in certain places, and also some red and purple and green splattering. Same thing with the boots, but it's an asymmetrical design with red on this side but not the other. Underneath the boots, they're entirely green. So Joker has taken a spray paint can to the underside of the boots, and he's even painted the little bat summoners under there too. Very quickly, before we move on, I wanted to show you what he looks like with the grenades in his cape. The instructions do a really good job of telling you how to thread the cape through his fingers so he can hold onto it, but they do a terrible job of telling you where to put the grenades. They literally say place them randomly in the cape holes. So you may end up with something that looks like this, but chances are yours is going to look a little different. I didn't think I was going to like this as a display option, but it infuses a touch of iconic Heath Ledger Joker into an outfit that we never saw him wear on screen. So now that I've seen it, yeah, I'm going to have to display him like this. Okay, let's do it. The comparison that most of y'all have been waiting for, it's Hot Toys Artisan Joker next to In-Art Rooted Hair Joker. I've got my preferences, but let me first preface this by saying I've got no horse in this race. All I care about is getting the best 1/6 scale figure possible. I have no allegiance to Hot Toys and no allegiance to In-Art. So when I say this, it's because the product, I believe, is truly superior. I like the Hot Toys head sculpt better. There's more skin texture, the teeth look very real, the eyes also have a bit more shadow to them, and that gives them a more realistic look. The hair is finer and the color looks more accurate to me, but the hairline is technically more accurate with InArt. It's all going to be down to personal preference at the end of the day. I still love my InArt figures, but something about this Hot Toys head sculpt has just won me over. With that comparison now out of the way, there's only one other question on my mind. What does this head sculpt look like on that one's body? Holy shit. This is the InArt body and the Hot Toys head sculpt. It's a perfect pairing. Some people have said that the head sculpt looks too big for them. I don't have that issue. The head sculpt looks in scale to me. It's not properly connected to the neck connector because they use different size ball pegs, but the shirt collar is tight enough so that it cups the base of the neck and holds the head sculpt in place. I love that he's got this angle forward to the neck, so it gives him that Heath Ledger Joker stoop that he always had in the movie. He was punching forward like this most of the time. Weigh in the comments below. Do you like this? Should I display my InArt Joker like this? Or should this head sculpt go back on the Jokerized Batman body? For a quick side-by-side comparison, I never thought I'd see another Imposter Joker from Hot Toys because the original one didn't really sell that well. But here we are, and there he is. He's a little bit shorter than Jared Leto's Imposter Joker. Which one do I prefer? Something about the Batfleck suit just speaks to me, and he's wearing the cowl, and he's got this creepy grin on, so I have to go with the figure on the right. I love the head sculpt on the left, but not on that body. I'm struggling to decide how I feel about this, because seeing two completely different characters, but in the same suit, styled differently, it's cool in a way, but it's not movie accurate, so I'm really struggling to convince myself to display these two standing next to each other like this. Because they're just using a Batman suit and body that was meant for Christian Bale's height, like they didn't shorten it or adjust it for Joker, he's quite a lot taller than the InArt rooted hair version of himself. Is the purple coat Artisan Joker going to be taller too? Possibly. Fingers crossed he's not going to dwarf the InArt one, because some people were already saying that InArt was too tall. Going over articulation, starting off with his head sculpt. Due to the nature of the suit having a high collar, and because we don't have a split underneath the chin, we're relying on a ball joint at the base of the neck for all of the range. Looking forward to there, looking up to there, swivel, and some pivot side to side. His arms will go up to there as the shoulder pads flex and move out of the way. Going forward on soft ratchets, I believe. There's a butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow going past 90, then for the wrist peg, it's a hinge and swivel. His torso crunches forward to there as it gets a little bit bunchy, going back to there, swivel, and pivot side to side. His legs will go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh. Ratcheted double bend at the knee, going past 90. But only just. And then a split cut boot design with a double ball peg for the ankles. Good for forward and back, rotation, as well as ankle tilt. Moving on to the 3 cool and 3 annoying things. The first annoying thing is, why is he based on the DX19? We've got 2 more versions of Batman in this Batsuit coming, and they both look better, more proportionate, and more accurate than the DX19 does. They decided not to use one of those bodies, they stuck with the DX19. Which tells me maybe they did have some excess stock lying around that they've converted into this piece. The second annoying thing is Artisan Joker is meant to be Hot Toys' answer to the InArt release. But none of these weapons are made of die-cast. They're all plastic. And with In-Art Joker, they were all made of metal. The third annoying thing is we don't get a cowled head sculpt. So if you wanted to have these two imposter figures standing side by side, now I don't think it makes a ton of sense, because why does one have the cowl on and the other doesn't? Plus, if they'd have thrown in a cowled head sculpt, we could have used the rooted hair one for something else. The first cool thing is we're getting our first look at what Artisan means for Hot Toys with final production pieces. And this head sculpt is glorious. Like, this is one of the best head sculpts I've ever seen in 1/6 scale. I didn't even have to do much with the hair. Out of the box, it needed a little bit of futzing, nothing crazy. I'm extremely happy with how this head sculpt turned out from prototype to final production. The second cool thing is the uniqueness factor cannot be overstated. There's something about the way this has been painted and then the rooted hair Joker head sculpt that just grabs your attention. The third cool thing is, if you were wondering if you can use the DX19 head sculpt on this body, of course you can. It's literally a DX19 body. This cowl, by the way, is not the one that comes with the DX19. It's using the stock Hot Toys mouthplate and eyes, but the cowl was sculpted and painted by OT Customs. Wrapping up on the Hot Toys exclusive Artisan Joker, Batman Imposter version. This figure has been really hard to review because how do you review something that's got an 11 out of 10 head sculpt, but makes no sense and has a very strange outfit and a body that doesn't match the head sculpt proportions-wise and probably won't fit into your collection? That's what I'm struggling with. I don't really know what to think of this piece. Certain things I love. The head sculpt, stunning hair craftsmanship. They said that on the box art, and I gave them shit about it. No, I take it back. They can slap that on the box or wherever the hell else they want to, because stunning hair craftsmanship is true. This head sculpt is almost flawless. The only complaint I have is the panel around the back is a little tricky to remove. Everything else, totally on board with. And now, after seeing this head sculpt, I'm so freaking excited for the rest of the Artisan line, because I reckon they can deliver the goods with those figures just like they've done with this sculpt. But the outfit. Why? Like, why does it look like this? Why didn't we get Bank Robber Joker or Nurse Joker? Or something just different? A bat suit that's been Jokerized? We've seen them do that before with the Suicide Squad one, and that didn't sell super well. This makes no sense to me. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of growing on me. It's so out there, it's so loud, and it's unapologetic about that I reckon I might just have a spot for it in the collection. It's a conversation starter. It's going to be unique. Not many people are going to have this in their collections. So if you want something that's going to be a limited run piece that most other collectors aren't going to get, look no further than this. And luckily the head sculpt is so good that most people are probably going to be happy with this right after they open the box. Now, I got mine at a discount from Pop Collectibles. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. I've popped a link to their site in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.